Hey everybody, Tom Barnes, stories from the 78 here at Transit Tees in the Wicker Park, Bucktown neighborhood. This has been around for a long time. It's a true Chicago staple. If you like anything Chicago, you can find it in here. And if it's not here, they'll design it for you. That's what Tom does, and Tim. Tim being the owner, Tom, one of the creative elements of this whole operation. But we're talking about Chicago 1893, their new game that they have out right now. You can come by and take a look. We'll get a little tour of the place, talk to the fellas right now for this story from the 78. All right, so I've done a story before on the Chicago Handshake at Transit Tees here in Chicago. I'm here with my friend Tim. How you doing, Tim?
I'm great, thank you.
So Tim, you are the creative director, owner of this spot. When it started off as like a little shirt stand online, and now here you are at your store in Wicker Park. You got another one up in Andersonville. And for folks that have never been here before, you got a lot of stuff going on here.
Thank you. Yeah, if you look around the store, everything you see in here is designed by our creative team. We have 4 art directors, and we think of things to make based on our experiences in Chicago. So something may have happened to us on our transit ride in on the L, and so we'll jot down sketches of that and come up with products based on that.
And one of them is dibs. You have the sweatshirt right here. It's about to snow, like first big snowfall of the year happening tomorrow. But that's one of the things that you guys do.
Yeah, dibs is really fun. It's a Chicago experience. We're doing a campaign where we give away a dibs chair to some people that participate in our social media. So we try to have fun with those experiences.
And then you have all this other fun stuff that's very Chicago, what you guys like to incorporate experiences or just, I mean, I'm a nerd for Chicago. So, I mean, everything in this store I could probably have in my house and not be fazed by it at all because I love all things Chicago.
Yeah, we're definitely inspired by transit and the city of Chicago. There's so many great neighborhoods here. So we have neighborhood map that features 240 distinct neighborhoods. You can see there's 145 L stops. So no matter what L stop you work at, lived at, you can pick up one to remember that neighborhood.
Yeah, especially as folks, you know, like start off in one neighborhood in their 20s, and if they're still in the city in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and beyond, odds are you're moving neighborhoods at some point.
There's so many great neighborhoods, so it's nice to remember those and
right. You love each neighborhood for
celebrate
each thing, and you have all these. I mean, this stuff is just a Chicago lover's dream. You have all sorts of fun stuff in here, all made here relatively in the city. You guys do a lot of the design. All we have in your shop that you talked about.
Yeah, we have 4 printing presses, so we hand screen print the t-shirts, the posters, and then we also like to feature seasonal items. So right now we have winter hats and scarves, and we like everything to have approachable pricing. So we have specials like 2-for combination specials on items, and then this time of year too, bargain bin does really well. So things that have been closed out or small dents and dings will offer great value on various items that we have throughout the store.
Yeah, I'm just taking a look here. I mean, there's so many things you guys have added significantly over the last time we even did a story here. And I mean, there's some things that are kind of maybe perhaps if you know type things, which is all about Chicago. Like you live here long enough, you know all the fun things about the city and all the little nuances of it, right?
Yeah. And there's a huge audience here. There's 7 million people in the Chicagoland area. So we love that we can cater to that audience, but also people that travel here from other countries. They take the L system in, so they're used to mass transit, and they appreciate that we have a great system here. And so they really connect.
And look, I mean, more about your dibs that you were talking about. You have it. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
that's very unique, very Chicago of you to even have it.
That's one that we found through a wholesale partner, and we just couldn't resist. We thought it was so unique.
Yeah, and so we did the Chicago Handshake, which is the first time we did a story in the last couple of years, and now you have something new as well, right?
Yeah, this year, Tom LaPlante, he's our game designer.
Hey, Tom.
And do you want to talk to him about how you were inspired?
So our new board game this year is Chicago 1893. And as you might guess, it's about the World Exposition that Chicago hosted that year.
Yeah, which is one of the most unique things, I think, in Chicago history, really, right?
Certainly. When we were developing this game, I wanted to make something that was sort of like a competitive puzzle, so that the players would kind of build a map of Chicago one piece at a time. And so that's sort of what we've got here.
And this is something that you guys have created, designed, the whole thing right here in the city.
That's right. Yep. Right here in Chicago.
That's really great. And so how long would you say that this takes for like and how many people is this for?
So this is for 2 to 6 players, and it will play in, I would say, 45 minutes to an hour. So it's not too long.
No, not at all. The most unique piece, what would you say? I mean, you have a lot of integral pieces here. I mean, there's a lot of fun stuff that I can see. What do you, point
Yeah.
out some of the fun things that you have here.
Well, so as you place your tiles down, and then when you place the tile, you have the opportunity to place one of these worker guys on it. And that kind of signals that you're working on whatever the feature is, whether that's
love this.
building out a park or extending a rail line or building one of these monuments. And this is probably one of the most interesting things about this game. There are these cards over here. So when you complete a monument, you get some kind of bonus for it. But these are all notable buildings that were built in Chicago around this time. And also really important to Chicago's history.
Absolutely. It's almost like a history lesson. So the idea is then to just build out the city, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
And so you want to build new rail lines, build new parks, build boulevards and stuff like that. And depending on the size of that feature, you get a certain amount of points. And so basically whoever can build the most stuff by the end of the game wins.
And what are your hours here for people who want to come by and pick this up? They could also order this online as well, I imagine.
Yes, of course you can order online, and we are open from 11 to 6 every day. Or weekends are different.
It's 11 to 7.
11 to 7.
11 to
on
7.
weekends.
Well, that's why Tim's here as well. So Tim, 11 to 7. What's the website, Tim?
So the website is transittees.com.
Transittees.com. Simple enough, and the game is back available. It was sold out for a little while, but come in and sell them out again. Why not, right?
That'd be great.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.